Good morning and welcome to this segment of the program. Inuagata Nosahai is my name and I am the business coach. For every business owner, for every business manager, one thing that everybody expects to see in his or her business is growth. Growth is one significant thing that everybody desires to see in businesses and also in other visions that one is pursuing. But let us just zero it on business. But sometimes growth can bring unanticipated challenges. Yeah, growth can really bring unanticipated challenges. And when it gets to that level, some business owner, they collapse because they are not able to manage some unanticipated growth. For example, let's look at a situation whereby you have a business and your business have the capacity to accommodate 50 customers per day, and then all of a sudden there was an upsurge. You now see a situation whereby you start seeing 300 customers come in per day. Your personnel, that means your human resources, your people are not able to accommodate them because the numbers are quite few. You actually intended for you employ people that could accommodate 50, and then your physical resources are also not able to accommodate them. And then what do we see? We now start seeing the situation whereby so many customers come in there, they spend a lot of time, and they get worn out, they get tired. What's responsible? The business is actually able to accommodate 50 customers per day, but we now see a situation whereby 300 customers are coming in. Then there is now wastage of time. People's time, customers' time are wasted. You see a situation where customers now spend a lot of time. They get worn out, they get bored, and most of the time, a lot of them will now go back disappointed. They will now go back disappointed. And customers going away with disappointment is not good for the brand of any business. Remember, when I define brand, I take my definition of brand beyond the level of logos, beyond the levels of visual impressions, beyond the level of painting and all that. I always say that your brand is what you are known for. Your business brand is what your business is known for. And so if at the end of the day, customers now know you for disappointment, that is a very, very negative definition of your brand. Your brand is what you are known for. So unexpected growth sometimes can be a very big challenge for any business. It is very, very important that we kind of make sure that we are able to build enough momentum, we are able to build enough capacity to be able to accommodate unexpected growth in our business, because sometimes it can just happen. There can be a period of boom sales in business. There is this unexpected sales, there's this unexpected rush, and at the end of the day, you see your staffs, the available staffs you have, they get worn out. They now find it very challenging to relate to the customers because of the pressure that is mounted on them, and some of them that are not very disciplined, some of them that have not really learned self-control. You see them losing it out on the customer, and at the end of the day, it doesn't go well for the image and the brand of the business. And so to handle this situation, it is very important that as you start noticing that increment in patronage, you start bringing in manpower, you start increasing other resources that will be able to accommodate all these changes that takes place in your business, so that it wouldn't just be something that takes you unaware. You take some proactive step to prepare yourself to be able to handle this situation. This is very, very vital, very important. Then another mistake some business owners also make, or some persons that want to go into business, is overinvestment in fixed assets. Overinvestment in fixed assets. Just imagine you have a business dream, you have a business vision, and then you have 2 million naira to go into this business, and you use the 2 million naira to inside that 2 million naira you use a million naira to rent a very big office, and the 2 million naira, the remaining 1 million, you spend some of them to acquire furniture, you acquire state-of-the-art, highly configured computer systems, and at the end of the day, After spending money, painting the whole place, it just remained, let's assume 10,000 naira from the 2 million naira. Now, from the very beginning of the business, you are now faced with a problem of insolvency. You are now faced with such a problem. Your business from the very beginning has become insolvent. When I was studying accounting in the Ambrose Ali University, my HOD then, who was my lecturer on bankruptcy and liquidation, defined solvency as the ability of a business to be able to meet up with its financial obligations as they fall due. And these financial obligations involve being able to, purchase raw materials, handle operational expenses, pay staff salary and all that. And if a business lacks that ability or lacks that capacity, the business is now said to be insolvent. The business is now in that state whereby the business is not able to meet up with its financial obligation as they fall due. And if you overinvest in fixed assets from the very beginning of the business, your business is already in a state of insolvency, where the business lacks the cash to be able to run the daily operation as required, especially for the purchase of raw materials. So if you are going into business, sometimes there might be some very massive assets that you need to run the business. I will advise you that just hire them for a while. Don't just pour all your cash that you have into in purchasing of that asset, and then you don't have cash left for you to run the day-to-day activities of the business, for you to buy raw materials, for you to handle operational expenses, transportation costs and all that. So overinvestment in fixed asset purchasing, some trucks for the business, buying land, buying buildings, sometimes at the inceptional stage of the business, that may not be very, very advisable. That may not be very advisable. So you need to be, possess that business intelligence to know that, okay, from the very beginning, there are things I need to avoid. I should not lock up my cash that I will need to keep the business running on a day-to-day basis into some equipment. This is very, very vital. I should not lock up my cash into some equipment. I need to take, steps that will ensure that, I know how to properly appropriate the cash that is in my hand, so that I will be able to, make money available for the day-to-day running of the business. And another thing that also, one mistake I noticed that people equally make in our business environment, especially at those states, is lack of innovation. Lack of innovation. I was teaching last week Wednesday, and I said that it is very important that in this our state we stop celebrating mediocrity. Very, very important. So we are seeing a situation whereby businesses don't innovate, and innovation is different from invention. Invention is like you bring something into being or into existence that really wasn't there before. But innovation is you just making an adjustment in what has been, in order for you to remain relevant, in order for you to remain competitive, in order for you to be able to have a good share of the market. This is very, very important. Innovation is different from invention. And in innovation, the idea is that you do not need to reinvent the wheel. You do not necessarily need to bring into existence something that has never happened. Just look at what is happening around, and with your business intelligence, just make a little twist, make a little adjustment. And innovation, also involve you looking at a particular idea A, you look at another idea B. You can integrate those two ideas together to create a new hybrid of idea that you can use to stand out in the marketplace. Innovation ensures that you are able to create a POD for yourself, a point of differentiation that will ensure that customers continue to patronize you, and you see your business remaining relevant. The business is able to make sure that attract customers. The business is able to continue into the future. The business is able to maintain posterity. Innovation is a very strong strategy for maintaining posterity. It is a very strong strategy for maintaining posterity. This is very, very important. Don't forget this. The three things I have mentioned here is that unexpected growth, you need to take proactive steps to prepare for it. You need to avoid overinvestment in fixed assets. You need to continue to innovate. And one way that you can always ensure that you continue to innovate as a business owner is for you to continue to develop your mind. We will continue to say this. Make sure you continue to develop your mind. Don't be a business owner that is just complacent. You are relaxed. Yes, you are making 5 million naira every year. There is still a bigger level. Somebody is the richest man in Africa. You are making 10 million naira every month. Yes, somebody somewhere else is making $100 million every month. Don't just plateau at that state. Don't be complacent. Don't just accept the status quo. There is still a higher level for you to go into, and through innovation, which happens as a result of continuous self-development, self-improvement, you will be able to see that you bring things into being that will give you that POD, that point of differentiation. This is very important. And also, I want to really give a piece of advice to some of you out there that have graduated from the higher institution, from the universities, from the colleges of education, from the polytechnics, and even secondary schools. You have been out there all this while. You are looking for jobs. You are blaming the government for no jobs. You are blaming the society. You are blaming everybody around. When you do that, you are making yourself a victim of circumstance. You are operating with a victim mentality. And one dangerous thing of operating with a victim mentality is that it locks up your creativity. It short-circuits your innovative ability. It just ties up your creativity. It puts you in a box. And one very significant thing I must say this morning is that please don't let your mind be so subsumed by your certificate, because when you always look at that paper certificate, you can never create, you can never innovate. It will lock up your creativity. Don't say, I have a 2-1, I have a first class, I have a 2-2, I'm a graduate from Federal University, State University, and all that. When you are so conscious of that, that paper in your hand, that BSc or BA or Masters or PhD can lock up your creativity. And with your credential, with your certificate, you limit your God-given potential. You limit your God-given potential. So don't allow that paper certificate called BSc, master's degree, whatever it is, to lock up your creativity. Open yourself up to ideas. In the present world that we live in, it is no longer certificate that really matters. It is now certificate. What do you sabi? It is now certificate. Certificate, what you can do. So you need to, really look inward and be able to bring out that certificate inside of you, what you can do, that will really set you apart in the world that we live in today and make you relevant and make you add value to the society. This is very important. This is very, very, very important, because we have so many persons out there. They are roaming the street. Some of them are now beginning to get into different kinds of vices. This is not really good for you. This is not good for the society. You just have to take the bulls by the horn. Don't allow that certificate to lock up your creativity. There's so much inside of you that is far beyond your certificate. And I know that you have seen people out there who probably went study 1 or 2 programs or in the higher institution, and what they are doing today that has given them a difference in the world we live in today is no longer their certificate, but as a result of recognizing their potential and making a big difference. It is very important that you take this seriously as someone that is a graduate out there. Very important. And let me also counsel those of you that are presently in 1 or 2 higher institutions. Please begin to see beyond that paper you are also going to acquire in no distant time. While you are in that school, begin to open your eyes to opportunities that will help you to make a big difference. I was discussing with a particular bishop yesterday, and I told him that look at a school like Uniben. Probably the population of the students in that school might just be 20,000, and there is no way any Uniben student will spend less than 1,000 naira per day for food, for photocopy, for phone call, for transportation, which means that not less than 20 million naira circulates Uniben every day, money that is just spent by students. And there are some of other students that spend 5,000 a day, some 2,000 and all that. But conservatively, let's look at it at 1,000 naira level. 1,000 times 20,000 is 20 million naira that goes around the school every day. So as a student, it is very important that you also ask yourself, how do I create a channel to also collect from this money? I was telling that bishop yesterday, I said that students come to school, some come with 10,000 naira, some come with 20,000, some 50,000, some even more. And at the end of the semester, there is nobody that go back home with that money. Everybody spends the money. There is no student that will come to school with 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 that goes back home with the money. Everybody spends the money. Everybody must spend the money. And so why not also create an avenue, try and create value, create a service as a student there, that will help you to also collect this money from this student. Be creative. Be creative. This is very, very important. Be creative. Add value to yourself, add value to the society, and then you'll be able to make a big difference. You might have 1 or 2 questions you want to ask. you might need my coaching services in one form or the other, just call my phone number 080 66 86 5060 080 66 86 5060. I'll be continuing next week Wednesday to come and add more value, and when I return I will still be Inuarata No Sahai, the business coach. Your day is blessed. Thank you.